Looks like we have a stream. Sounds good. Let's have a microphone. Lovely. Hello, microphone. Hello there. Hit return there. Yay. Got a live screen? Yes, we have. Looking good. Let me just check something. Oh, right, that's not right. That's it. Alright, I can see the text now. I can see chat. Isn't that nice of it? Oh, there goes the Dingley Bells. Hello, Dingley Bells. Yeah, I've got mail. Oh, I wanted to show you that, didn't I? Yeah, I'll show you this first. This writing a modern metal thingy, part 1. I decided to do part 1 to see what it did, and it comes up with, this is it, Modern Metal Rogue. It comes up with this, okay. A view controller and rendering, a bit of matrix maths, and that's roughly about it. Some shaders, which are interesting. I've altered them, obviously, I always do. And I placed my own model in my player OBJ. Right, what seems to be the problem? It doesn't work. I expected it not to work. It's 2 years old, and yeah, look what we're getting. Better close it actually, because I don't know what the hell it's doing. Returning nil allocation. Allocation failed. Yeah, well, that's what happens if you follow something as well. I can correct this code if you want me to. If anybody out there wants me to correct this code, let me know. Either pop on stream and tell me. This is the code from, where is it from? It's good code actually. Metalbyexample.com. I've got no qualms about the code or anything. All I did was type in what they told me to, and that's what I got. So it's just a warning. If you are going to follow that on Mac OS, make sure you know what you're doing first. I can correct it, but it's time. I don't have the time right now. But if you do want it done, of course I will. Do it. I do requests. Except for pole dancing. I don't do that. And that's that bit out of the way. So, brilliant article. Fantastic. It's great. But project from iOS, single view app. Whereas I did a Mac OS application. So yeah, that's why I didn't expect it to work. But I can make it work if you want me to. Right, that's that over with. Metal Rogue, where are we up to? Letters. And I was oohing and ahhing last night about it all. And then I remembered, hold on a minute, we're going to be using OpenGL everywhere else. Let's just run the code so it's got a compile on it. And in OpenGL, this doesn't happen. .558 megabytes. I'm sorry, Apple, you've got it wrong. Here you go. Not my problem. Sorry, I'm not going to cover up for your mistakes on this one. We'll do it OpenGL way. They are holding all the models in RAM. Not my fault. I hold all the models on the GPU. And my code is a lot simpler than theirs. So, yeah. But at least it's not like the Sandbox, which has got 1,000,001 files. So I don't have to worry about that. At least we've only got this. Create a function to make the letters and place them. Okay, func GUI. That's the file that we're in. And it's text 2. Sorry, I'm only on one hand at the moment. 3D. What do we need to pass in? Current ID might help. So we'll have that. There we go. So all we need to do at this point here is, after we've set whatever this number is going to be, in fact, we could have a test data, couldn't we? Not yet. Let's just take it one step at a time and then we'll add the test data. See if we can get that to work. Yeah, funny. It's current ID, so it's just whatever that says, and we just put in current ID -5. That's it. Obviously we're going to be doing that for each of the elements. Yeah, well, hey ho, such is life. How are we going to do it? Well, the answer's here, just up above. So I'm going to take a model ID. All right. There's the answer. I'd already done it, as usual. Right, so it's a for loop through the text that we have. And for each piece of text, we have to make a new model. Right, we need the text, don't we? So let text equal element component blah de blah dot text. There we go. All right. I'll leave that alone for a second because we're going to use it anyway. Right, the letter model ID is going to be whatever number that returns. That's going to be a UTF-8 number, and that's going to correspond to a model that we have already generated in Model Warehouse on the first part. If you remember, I said we had to do this first. Oh, I found out the mistake for it overrunning. It wasn't. It was just an extra print line that I had in. Don't worry about it then. So we have all of these with textures and everything all ready to go. So what we need to do is create a model and a texture from whatever we have here. Simples, huh? So, get back in the right file would help. It is actually quite simple. I'm doing it this way because this is the way we should be doing it, not covering up for Apple. I'm going to do it the proper way first. I might cover up for Apple on my final version. I'm not sure yet. But that means having a database of texts. And no, thank you. I don't really feel like doing that. I want to make it on the fly. This is each time around the main loop. So each time around the main loop, we are going to hit this lot. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So what we do is we take the letter number and we can insert that into a common thing of models. This is starting to look okay, actually. In our ECS. There. So we need that. So that's our mesh there. What's game entity's got? It's just got the object ID, not really bothered about that, we've already got it. We need a copy of that. And we need a copy of that. Okay. This is going to be fun. Model GPU loaded. So I'll have one of those. We'll see if we can actually get a copy of it. Let's try it. Let mesh. Can I just place in letter model ID there or not? No idea. Letter model ID. Hmm. Hold on a minute. No, because I have to change it. I have to make a new one. This is why I was thinking of loading it on the fly. How are we accessing this? We are doing a for loop, aren't we? Here. What we need to add is a model to render. And the ID is going to be model.object. We need to clear our models to render each time according to this. Put it back to 0 models to render after each call. That's a bit of a interesting idea. So that when we come through our GUI objects here, we have to set them to render. We've got our set to render in the wrong place. That's fine. As long as I know. You can see the problems this now causes. Model equals, let's do it from the rendering. There's an iterator. For next loop uses an iterator. Model ID equals model dot object ID. I'm looking at the wrong bit. Here we go. Yeah. I'm right. It's GUI models loaded model ID. So why is it giving us current ID, -5. Well, the -5 can go. And it's the current ID that we're looking at. No, it's not. It's the letter model ID. No exact match. I can understand why it's saying that. Replace letter model ID with int letter underscore model ID. Did I? Oh, right. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for your help. So we have our mesh. And now we have to have a look under GUI objects, which are already in. How do we initialize them? Let's update. Alright, so we've got current model to be considered about. We can't use that. We're going to need a text area for each one of these, aren't we? Can't do that. Or we can. They're all going to need their own space time continuum. Right, let's just keep the thought on. So that's the model. Let position component equal. I'm going to do it the proper way. I'm not going to do the silly way. And don't want to overthink this in any general direction at all. Model position component, open brackets, int probably letter model ID. Okay. That's okay, because we know what these are. These are game blah blah blahs. It's just one of them. There we go. Fix. Right, that should give us the two things that we need. We now need to store them someplace. I'm thinking of GUI text. Ah, textures. We need a texture for these as well. Oh, we've got it. It's wood. And it's already being held and has been assigned. So we don't need textures. If I add them to models to render, we've got a problem. Or have we? We are reassigning everything in this update, aren't we? Please say we are. We are. These are the only models that we are rendering at this point in time. So finally we can get rid of this, which was in the wrong place. You should not be adding to a render in what is a loader. Okay, so I'll do that. What we should be doing is once it's been set, here is where we do it. And which model are we on? That one. We saved out the ID, didn't we? Yes, we did. So I've got one here as well. Oops. These are not the correct IDs. GUI display box ID I. It is, it's the correct one. Stop doubting yourself. Okay. Current ID. I'm starting to doubt myself now. That's never a good sign, because we take it out of a thingy. I need to know what that's giving there. No, that's why it's working. Right. We need a text to begin. Point. Or an end of models point. End of model loader. We need to know where this ends. And that will be held. The last element loaded will be shown as current model. And that will never change. So we can use that. To our advantage. Text. Storage. Start equals current model plus 1. I'm just wondering whether we make that global or not. Not really. Alrighty. Goes in here. Comma. Text. Storage. Don't know why I'm putting a capital T on it. Text underscore storage. Int. Because it's a position, isn't it? Cool for that. This is starting to look better. Okay. We can now add that model into storage and give it a position. So let's give it a position. So translation, blah, 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 blah. Translation matrix, blah, blah, blah. And we want to use our position component here. Right, what's wrong with that translation matrix? Okay, what's translation 3D? It's a var float 3. Alright, that's you done. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I'm going to have to make up something different for this. So I'll just take you out. Alright, yeah. Doesn't matter about these, does it? Let's start them off at 0, 0. 0, 0. Minus 6.6. Yep, that'll do. Okay, translation matrix is a var float 4x4, please. Thank you. Okay. I don't like these distractions that keep coming up. I just think these are going for lets. All right. We have successfully got ourselves a model and a position. GUI create entity. No, but we do have that one there. No, we don't. Not really. I don't think these functions work for this idea. No, that gives it a new one altogether. Which isn't a bad idea. No. So it's game entities and model position. Game entities. Append. We need a game entity for that. We haven't got one. Got a model. I don't want this bit. I want the other bit. The init. That one. This is a totally bad way of doing things, by the way. Yeah. The loaded model would be the model. At current model. No, don't do current model. Okay. This has to return. Oops. An int. Equals whatever it becomes. Oh god, front door. Bear with me a second. Oh, next door. Collecting their parcel delivery. Fine. I can handle that, I think, just. Text storage plus equals 1. Right. We also need to store our model position component. That's up here too, isn't it? No, it's not, it's below. So, model position component, append whatever. Position. And that's just position component. Okay. It isn't mutable. Really? We'll deal with you in a minute then. Plus equals whatever we send back. Okay. Return text dot, I suppose it's count, is it? The number of elements in the collection. Okay, dot count, yeah. Alright. That's that sorted out. Different way. How's everybody doing? Hope we're doing alright. Yeah, we are. We're good, we're good, we're good. We don't actually have a game object. Hey! It's Seppi. He's going quite well, unfortunately. I'm getting to grips with Swift at long last. It's not bothering me anymore. So pop you in there. The @ is there. That's looking better. Oh, how are you doing, Seppi? I think we're nearly at the end of our GUI experiment, so I'll be moving on to, you'll be very happy to know, Windows soon. This is literally, we're broken Swift. We're just pootling around in it now. Of Active Directory. That's a good question. Not even sure there is one. It'll be the same as Linux. So what do they use? It also depends on which IDE. Just use any Linux to compare it to. But LDAP, no idea for LDAP. It depends which editor you're in. I don't even think this one has it. Let's have a look. So it would be working directory. Do you want? Let's just have a quick. Active directory. Okay. Current. I know what you're asking for. Current active directory. It's that wavy mark for home directory, isn't it? So current active directory. Anything? No. But you can tell it's just Linux. It's using LLVM. That's just packages, settings. No. Doesn't give me my environment variables. Okay, let's try it again. Help. Xcode. Environment variables. These are all hash defines. That's not that one then. There we go. You got it. Yeah, it's... I mean, this is the help system I've got. Yeah. You can see that I've got no chance of answering any of those questions. Oh, wait a minute, we have... again, they're all in capitals, so... You're better off just looking... If for Mac, you're just better off looking up Linux. It's got... it's got better... it's got a better manual. Yeah. Anyway. What was I doing? Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. You can. Yeah, you can access by anything. We've got to remember that every single computer in existence has something called Telnet on it. Should have. It's not found under that one. So I don't know what it'd be on here at all. But look at that. Even at exit doesn't close the bloody window. I don't know. I need to add this. What do I think of inheritance? Confusing, baffling, and beyond my comprehension, because I cannot, for the life of me, as a systems analyst, see why anybody would want that much metadata hanging around the code. At the end of the day, it's not needed. It's useful in some circumstances, don't get me wrong. It's a tool to be used. But it is not, for me, a way of programming as a standard. You get, yeah, I know everybody uses inheritance, don't you worry. Let me just show you. I mean, we're here to chat, so. Okay. Here's an example. This modern metal thing that I showed at the beginning of this stream, right? Bound to inheritance, not that I know of. GUI libraries. Usually, if you're writing on top of a GUI library, possibly. Depends on the library, I suppose. Right, let's have a look at this renderer here. Okay. Now, this renderer inherits NSObject and MTK-ViewDelegate, which are two things specified in the background. Yes, it is on Qt. You're quite right. Does it have to be? Is your real question? And the real answer is no, it doesn't. You can work around that and with a better result. But anyway, that's a different subject for a different day. What I'm trying to show is inheritance here. We've got rendering, which is my class. It's inheriting NSObject and MTK-ViewDelegate. Now, when I run this program, okay, it's firing off next drawable, returning nil because allocation failed. That allocation failure is there. This return. Okay, next drawable. There's your drawable. That's the only place in the whole of this code you will find the drawable, current drawable. That returning nil, which means there's a problem in this code. Or is there? Is there a problem in this code? Is there a problem in that code? Or is there a problem in that code? Now, I know where the problem is, so I'm not bothered. I'm lucky. But let's just say you'd never come across that before, which I hadn't until yesterday, last night. When I first saw it, I thought, well, what the hell am I supposed to do about it? And then I realised, oh yeah, I know why it's happening. But if you don't realise why it's happening, where do you look? Whose code? And that's your problem with inheritance. It's not writing in inheritance. That's easy to do. The problem arrives when you get an error message like that and your program's running. You're quite right about Qt, but once you've gained enough experience with Qt to throw the book out the window, you'll find there's different ways of doing it. Qt is exceptional like that. It's fantastic. It will actually let you work how you want to, because it's C++ and it was built using C++ and it acts like C++. Inheritance is optional. I don't blame people for using it. I've never found a need for it. That, by the way, was that instruction type thingy off the internet that I found, that metal by example thing. So that's where that code came from. It's not mine. I mean, have I ever used inheritance in this so far? No, I haven't. Since I started building this game, I haven't used inheritance. Not because I don't want to, it's because I've had no need to. Yeah, using it for interfaces. Absolutely. I mean, you are using inheritance not to build the interface, but to make it easier. Not necessarily to understand, but how can you put it? You are distancing the end user away from the interface so that it can be presented to them in a human fashion. That's what inheritance is for. I'm still using delegates here, by the way, which is a void template, a void star template in C++. A virtual. Delegate in Metal means, or delegate in Swift means virtual in C++. So I'm still using this is a virtual thing. Yeah, interface reference ADD. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly how you're supposed to use inheritance. Yeah, absolutely. Inheritance just extends your current class by the inherited object. So you can build upon a current class into a superclass, I suppose. But I don't use classes, you see, that's a problem. Sorry, I'll miss that one. So you can only put attributes which can be set. Yes, that's correct. That is exactly the way to use it, yeah. So you're using inheritance in a responsible fashion as far as I'm concerned. I would as well. I think normally when I've started using Qt in the past, if you have a look on the Amber Skies channel on YouTube, you'll see that I do use inheritance, but yeah, for the OpenGL window when I don't need to, which is interesting. I came across a different way of programming a long time ago, and for me, it doesn't need classes and stuff, so. Wing Fu Ted 3, hello, I really need help. Well, I might do a bit on technical stuff, but I'm not a programmer, beware. Seppi is. I think you've approached it correctly there, Seppi. Absolutely. I think I need help at this point because I've now got to add this to rendering, haven't I? Object ID. It isn't, it's storage. Ooh, that was a lot of typing. Well done. I'll read you in a sec. Trying to run a Python file from the terminal. Just put in py. I think it is. No, it's not trivial at all. It's quite correct question. When was the last time I wrote a Python file? Is it py for Python these days? Maybe it's Python. Yeah. Let me just get it up. Seppi can answer this one, actually, I should think. Python. No, it'll be help. Oh, sugar, I'm in the stupid blooming thing. There it is. Oh, it doesn't have help. I can't remember whether it's Python run or something like that. Yeah, Python version, that just tells me the version, but not the help file. To run a Python thing, I think I used to just put in Python and then the file name. And hit return. Oh, wait a minute, I've just done that wrong, haven't I? It has to be joining up. There we go. There's no flags for it, is there? Library modules, no. Program passed as a string, so you might need a -c. Python -c. And then type in the string. Could be. Okay, yeah. Program read from script file is Python space file. Yeah, that's right. It just gives you your version number. Yeah, if you have a Mac, it doesn't change anything. It's still the same as it was on Linux. You only run Python version if you want to find out if you got Python. Well, obviously I have. But Python version that we do have here, operating systems don't really matter. It's 2.7.16. It's the same, yeah. Yeah, go to the working directory where your Py files are, and you can run your Python files, Python space, and then just type in your program file name. That's what I thought it was. Excellent, thank you for confirming that, Seppi, because you know damn well my memory's rubbish. I can't remember anything. No, it's alright. Test it out, Wing Food Head 3, and see if it works. If it does, good luck. If it doesn't, come back to us. Seppi's really good at this kind of thing. You have suspended jobs. Terminate. There you go. I will terminate my suspended jobs. Excellent. And thank you for helping, Seppi. It really is appreciated, by the way. Mind you, you know my memory. I program on screen live on Twitch and I have no memory. Oh, changing directory. Yeah. Wherever you have saved your file is your working directory. So if you have saved your file on the desktop, it's CD desktop. That's a guess. Is it a capital D? Don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, capital D. So CD means change directory, desktop. I will then use ls and it will, yes, just allow it. Thank you. It tells me what I've got on my desktop. I've got, for instance, what I'm looking at here is Metal, Metal Sandbox. So my working directory would be CD Metal Sandbox. Metal _ Sandbox, not Sandbox. Metal Rogue is what I'm looking at. And that will give you all the details in there of where I've got my Metal Rogue stuff. Well, that's the simplest way of getting around. CD 2 dots will bring you up one directory back to the desktop. CD 2 dots will get you back to your home directory, which is a % for some reason. Strange. No problem. Just keep asking. Atom's rather good. I was going to do some Atom stuff, but then I got Sea Lion and everything became clear, so I gave up with Atom. I think Sea Lion is probably the way to go, but you have to pay. No, you don't. Sea Lion is on here for free. Community. Atom's okay, but it doesn't really help you as a beginner. I think it's got Python in it. Can anybody remember? I can't. Yeah, it's got Python in it. Sea Lion Community Edition's got Python in it. You could use that. I'm just wondering how it would take to Python. Should be okay, actually. Brew, search, Sea Lion. Bugger. That's only got Sea Lion on it. I want Sea Lion Community. Not good to use an IDE because then you don't learn syntax. There is no syntax in Python. So I tried changing to Atom. Yeah, that's fine. You're on a Mac. Yeah, Atom will be fine. Atom is probably quite, well, I wouldn't say helpful, but it is literally a programmable text editor. As long as you know that, that's fine. It's just like Microsoft Code is a programmable text editor. That's their version of Atom. So they're both the same thing. Use either, really. Better plus 1 to that equals 1, yeah. Okay. I think I've done this now. Yeah, different editors can treat Python differently. I agree with that. Yes, good call there, Seppi. Setups can be different. Totally different. Tabs and spaces, yeah. Totally agree. I don't think... Can we do Python in this? You can, but I don't know how. macOS doesn't seem to want to tell you that we can do Python. Treat tab as 4 spaces, yes it has. All of those editors do, same with Microsoft Code, all of them. So does this one that I'm using here. So you do have to be careful with your tabs. Interesting. Okay. Feel like a fish out of water. You should see me some days, mate. Look at what I'm programming. I'm programming in Swift and I've never programmed in it before. This is my first try in Swift ever. It's quite funny. I think I've got the code I need now here. Problem is I'm adding this to the rendering every single time I do it. Okay, we need to clear the rendering. How do we clear the rendering? Anybody know? Oh, can't I mark these? Because this is getting annoying. Text to 3D. That's better. Am I a System D hater? No, I don't hate anything. I haven't the ability to. Do I like anything? To me, it doesn't matter. Languages don't matter. Programming matters, but languages don't. Languages are just rule books that you flick through to make programs structured in a certain way. I usually take any language that I use and break it so I can program in my way. I prefer to program the CPU, not program the language, which is what a lot of people do. In fact, 99% of all programmers program the language. If any of them say they're good at a language, it means they know how to program that language. Pass by value or pass by reference by default. No idea, it doesn't tell you. You can't, I think it's pass by reference, you know, because it just stopped me from using text storage. It says I can't use that, I can't change it. That to me says it's being transferred as a const pointer or something, a const value of some kind. But you can pass by pointers intentionally by putting the ampersand sign at the front, and we all know what that means, don't we? Address. So it's very unclear in Swift. Exactly what the computer is doing behind the scenes is anybody's business, really. And that's the problem of writing in a language like this. I've got no idea what it's asking your CPU to do. Alright, I've got that marked now. Okay, update needs to clear that value. That has to be destroyed somehow. And it has to be the first thing that update does. Models to render dot. Clear? No. Count capacity? Can I do remove all? Don't tell me I have to do a for next loop. Please tell me I don't have to do a for next loop. Ah, yes. Ding. Done it. Remove all. Right, so now we've got rid of that cocking us up. We can run this. So we do our message board. We do our boxes. I don't know what's going to happen. Come on, you should crash. Yes, thank you. Ah, I haven't registered a game entity. Auto completion. Yeah. Auto completion. I use that to read what's in the language. Auto completion. I use that as my handbook. We haven't got a game entity, so it's crashed. Does it tell us where it's crashed? There it is. There. Oh, fantastic. It tells us where it is. Isn't that nice? Right, so we need to add an entity as well. That's a bugger. Trust me to use an ECS. Alright. Text storage or just storage? And I've just noticed I haven't taken that one off. Alrighty, try again. Well, it worked. But we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes instead of 6. And we've got our 6 box in the middle there. Any is the answer to that. Which IDE or text editor should you use? The one that you are most comfortable using is the answer. There are that many. It's... Qt Creator does Python now, by the way, as well. Seppi. With that moving, that tells me I've just relocated that box, which is the first box. Did I +1? Who did I just tell to relocate? Whoops. The first box. Yeah, absolutely. Just switch on syntax highlighting. So I've moved the wrong thing. I have. I put current ID in there. Whoops. Storage. You do realise if any of this today works, there isn't really much more lightweight than Atom. Atom is rather good. There's a whole Atom system that you can download. It does your emails, it does everything. It's one of those weirdo thingies that was once a good idea, and I don't know if they ever carried it on. I'm not even sure if we've got it, or I've got it. Let me just see if I have. Brew, search, Atom. There should be 2. There's SR Atom. No. Oh, there's Atom Nightly, Atom Beta. So there is an atom. There is an atom itself. Now I don't know if that is just the editor or not. Let's find out. Let's have a look. I mean, somebody's asking about it, so I may as well look. Unknown command atom. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Brew install atom. Updating. Nice. Can you get off? Never mind. Done. How's that? No formula found in tabs. Okay. Interesting. Modern chat systems are over-engineered. Yes, absolutely. Because they're stupid is the answer. They don't think it through. It says cask atom. Oh, right. I've got to download it as a cask. No, I can't be bothered. It's okay. I wouldn't use it on this system anyway. I'd use Xcode. Oh, that's what I was going to do, wasn't it? Xcode Python. I'm interested now because I like Python. Well, I don't like or dislike, I just think it's interesting. I want 2.7, not 3.8. Yeah, Xcode does Python. Doesn't do OpenGL, by the way. We found that out. They do lie a lot in these developer Apple thingies. Or they're just out of date, I don't know which one it is. Where's Python? Don't know, but you can do Python, it said on that page. Xcode includes the Xcode IDE Instrument Simulator. The latest macOS, iOS, comes with AppleScript, Perl, Python, and Ruby already installed. Running Python in Xcode. Building and running Python scripts with Xcode. There you go. Is it advisable to do Python coding in Xcode? Who cares if it's advisable or not? Do it! Why are you asking such insane questions? It's got nothing to do with advisability. Would I advise crossing the road? No, you might get run over. Come on. Jesus. Alright, yeah, I think I've solved my problem, haven't I? Ooh. Index out of range. That's because I'm asking it to do the wrong thing. Stupid me. I've already pulled it out here, haven't I? Yeah. So why am I not using it? Do I use RTTI? Not that I know of. Well now he's learning Python. That's a question I can't answer. It depends how you've made your Python. Does it stop and wait for the input? Obviously not. No, when you enter if you want to enter information into the any kind of program, it needs to stop and wait for that input. So Python, yeah, God knows. It's probably get line input or something. Can I assign a property to property is a let. Okay. Make it a var. It does stop. Oh, good. Then it certainly knows more about how to do it than I do. All right. You need to press print out a test below. So just below where you're trying to input, put an extra line in saying print, opening inverted commas, test, closing inverted commas, whatever. Usually the error is because the var is not initialized. All right. There you go. Index out of range. There is no indexing here. What's it going on about? Yeah, I think Joe is the name of the string. It might not know that it's the name of a string. But it's supposed to be type inferred, isn't it? Oh my god, it worked. Oh hell. We have 3D letters, people. A little large, admittedly, but we have 3D letters. On screen, using metal. And Swift, which I've never used before. Yeah. That is just so cool. Should we scale that down a little bit? Oh dear me. So this function is, this GUI text to 3D is working. I'm using matrices. Which way around do we do things? Location, rotation, scale. Reverse it for matrix. Scale, rotation, location. Scale first. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say that. Wing-footed 3. If you go into your terminal and you just type in Python, it puts you into Python mode. and you can literally do a line at a time, hitting return at the bottom, and it will run each line as you go. That's an interesting idea that I found with Python. One that did help me out quite a lot when I was programming in it. I do have a Python program somewhere. God knows where. Not even sure on which machine it'll be now. I think it's on the one in the bedroom. No, that's assembler. Yeah, check for typos. So I decided to scale first. var scale matrix. I'm using matrices because this is stupid. Right, equals. How the hell do I scale on this computer? One, oh, there is an error. Looking for it. 2, can't find it. Going panic. 3, question career. 4, oh, it was just a typo. Yeah. Oh God, I'm glad I haven't been through that ever. I get through annoyances where I can't force the machine to do what I want it to, but that's usually because I don't know enough about the language I'm programming in at that time. I get angry at that because I think it's my own incompetence with the language that usually I get annoyed with. I only ever get angry at myself. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at the screen at a blinking cursor saying, I want to scale a matrix. Got no idea how to do it. And I wrote it. So it's just a float 4x4. Yeah, it's a float 4x4. Scaling. Okay, we can do that. I think. Float 4x4, which is a matrix. Just open that and put in scaling. And do that and put in a float. 0.5. No, it won't do anything, you dope. I'm just gobsmacked that I can do these things. We need to use it. We need to use it on our multiply system. Position, component. I'm doing this the long way around, aren't I? Model, matrix, equals matrix multiply. Multiply, and we are going to use scale. the scale matrix. And we are going to use itself. There's a better way of doing this. And I know there is. But I don't care. Let's see if that'll scale it. I'm just glad I know that matrix multiplication is always backwards, because that should do it. By what, half? Yep. That works. I think we might need a little bit smaller than that somehow to fit in that box there. What do you think? We've got an L, by the way. What letter should we have? We've got the first letter. Alright, okay. That's good enough for me right now. Okay, let's get you down to 10%. Let's see what you're really made of, machine. Wow. It's smaller than that. I need another half on that. 0.5. Dooby-dooby-dum-dum. Wow. That might fit. It's supposed to be there, though. Okay. Let's start moving it now. I think 0.5 is going to be about good, actually. Yeah, it's looking like it is. It's just clipped in there. Has it gone over the top? We can let it go over the top a little bit, I suppose. I don't really care that much. I'm not a graphics designer. Right. That's our first number. Let's see where that gets us to. Possibly not in the right place, but possibly it is. But it could be inside the box. Oh. Where are these boxes? At minus 0.2. X, Y, Z. 0.6. Sorry. Bring it forwards. Oh, we've gone down a little touch as well. Ah, wasn't expecting that. Interesting. Oh, 0.5, yes, of course, it brings it downwards, you dope. Yeah, it brings it into a different layer. It's going to be 175. close. Very close. That's on a 475. And I think that's it. I think that's correct. It is, but I've got a 5 wrong. That is amazing. That is amazing. Oh, wait a minute, just do that one more time. I might be able to get past it as a factor. No, I can't. That's fine. Just got it too much. Perfect. We have succeeded in putting our first letter on the screen. And we should not be crashing through memory at 2 million miles an hour. Hey, we're not. Yeah, there it went up. That's normal. I'm looking at the slope more than I'm looking at this number. That number going up, by the way, is the amount of information and data it's taking on trying to run this. Oh well, we've only got 2.43 gigabytes to go. Alrighty. I think we are losing a little more than I expected. No, that's fine. It's because we are adding. We aren't deleting. Damn. We're just adding more and more elements on top each time. Our model count is going up. Well, not exponentially, but it'll go ballistic in a minute or two. I'm going to put more letters on. We have to clear out that queue. That queue of letters. They should be in their own queue. Really? Can I be bothered on it being its own queue? No. Does it matter to me? No, not really. We clear the rendering queue, but we don't clear the models that we've just made. Have we got insert going on? Yes, we have. And I don't know why the for next loop isn't working yet. But ain't that just the groovy life? Does everybody think we should have a cup of coffee now? Oh, wait a minute, you gotta go now. Yeah, okay. You take off, mate. Well done, by the way, on getting yourself started on Python. Well done. It's actually the hardest step is to get started on a language. It's that first victory. What I can't believe is that we've got a system that sticks a letter on a screen. How the hell have I done that? Where did the rest of the letters go to? Unless they are being overwritten. Alright, there's our leak. Our leak is these two inserts. We've got a memory leak. Hmm. Then delete them. Oh no. Always returns true. No, it doesn't. What is he talking about? Interesting. I've never known that before. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Hey, I don't know. Hmm. This shouldn't work. Totally agree. Hmm. Pardon? We have to remove it. And we have to do the same here. And we have to do the same here. We have to clear it first if it's not equal to nil, but I don't see how that is true. It should be an index out of range error that I get. Yeah. The first time you go through, it's an index out of range error. That I was expecting. Paradox. Right, I've hit my first paradox. It's a simple Boolean flag, but I don't like it. Letters have been written. I don't like doing things like that. That's the comical way of getting out of it. Index out of range. Storage is coming back wrong. Text storage. 134. No, it's not wrong. That's right. No. It's not right. Storage is coming back high. 128 minus... The start point here is wrong. That's coming in at 128. That's correct on 0. Ah, right. What are the advantages of Swift? Supposedly it's quicker to create a Mac program. You're not supposed to use Swift the way I'm using Swift here. Metal is already inside the GUI kit and everything else. So you're supposed to program from there rather than going into this, which is literally the bare bones stuff I'm programming with. Swift isn't really designed for bare bones processing. C is, but Swift isn't. I'm looking at I, aren't I? It still is. Objective-C is still the Apple language. That's what's behind all of Swift. Complete waste of time. I wouldn't even touch it with a barge pole. I just don't want the hassle of C being messed up badly. I don't want that kind of distraction. It's bad enough having to deal with typeset thingies like this has got. They introduces Swift as a brand new programming language that would end all of the problems of Objective-C. There you go. It can return many values at once, and you don't need structs, according to what they say. It's also type inferred, but I can't find how it is. It's that number that's bothering me. Why is that number bothering me? This is not doing what I expect it to do. It's going from 123. I see. Yeah, we're using that to get the letters. Text storage start should equal current ID plus 1. No, it's 133, that's correct. Ah, file I/O libraries are bugging me. Yes, they can't agree if the function file name is returning only file name without directories or as full path including file name. Reason for that is depending on the programmer. It's where humans come into the equation. You have to either accept that humans built that library or throw it away and build your own. We don't interfere with current model, do we? I'm just going to pop that in to see if it still does the what I expect it to. Oh, you bagger. I thought that might do it, but it doesn't. No, of course it doesn't. Just me being dumb on my Boolean logic. You've got to guard that instruction, not add to it. I'll tell you one thing about Swift. It doesn't half make you program properly. Which is a damn shame because I don't want to. I just want to throw it all up there and get it out of the way with and get on to the next part of the project. Point 3. This is point 2. And the last part of the project. I split it down into 3 phases because there's 3 operating systems. So I wanted to do each phase on each operating system, then I can build the finals on each operating system. Okay, that is because we goofed. If get lost. Can we stop this now? You've been very helpful. Can we just have that? Thank you. Cut. And I paste. La 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 la. There we go. Lovely. I still don't know why it keeps saying that's always true. It's right though. It is always true, which is interesting. Boolean logic coming in. And memory. Booyah. I bet you're glad. Don't you find it interesting that I know exactly when to check the memory leaks? I know how they happen, that's why. Yeah, they're quite right. That is total. Total. Not needed. It's handled by the Boolean. If you think about it, if letters have been written, then they need to be removed before you can rewrite them. That'll do. That looks nice. Okay. Well, that's it. We have text on screen. What we don't have is that next happening. I get the capital L. Print. Letter model ID. Should get one number. 76, yes. That's a capital L. Well, thank you for that. Take the break off and do the full loop. Thought as much. One, 3, 5. $76, 101. Blech. Right, so we are getting all the letters. But we're not getting all the displays because they're all going to the same goddamn place. Okay. We need a counter, do we? We'll pulling that out, but we don't know which one we're on. We have storage, but storage is already a number. Right, I've got a counter, which means I know it's going through each model ID. Oh, it's going dope. I haven't got those models. Have I? I don't have a colon, not in that format. And they're all being printed on top of each other. Plus counter times. Ooh, this is going to be a difficult one to guess, isn't it? 0.010. Float. E. Nearly. We've got a couple of E's. Now where's my LVL gone? Thank you. My E's are working. This is what I mean by it's hard to judge what's going on behind the scenes. Interesting. Alright, put the brake back in. Does this make sense to anybody? Where the hell is the LVL gone? Hold on a minute. I've got spaces and God knows what in there, haven't I? Make sure your data input is always what you want. That. Thought so. Not bad. Got LVL. Where does E go to? Where does the second one go to? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an opcode is 6. I put a space in there and it'll only do the E's. It's doing even numbers, odd numbers, which means something's not adding properly. A +1 is being missed, is what that means. Interesting tests, which I don't appreciate having to do. It's because I don't know what Swift is going to do with something. At the end of doing the first lot, because remember, it's not the first time through that we are looking at. The first time through that we do it, it's perfect. The second time through, it isn't. Oh, thank you, Wingfooted3's following us on Twitch. Oh, and I forgot to tell him it's all stored on other stuff. Never mind. So if we only ever do this once, will it be correct? Let's just try doing it once. Let's just take it through once. We get nothing. Wow, that's interesting. So on the first pass it doesn't do anything. No, that's not quite true. Always equals false. Never mind. It never gets changed. That's not a good test. That's working. The mysteries of the internal workings of a computer using Swift. Have I missed something in the obvious? Probably. Right, it's not going to blow up if I leave it on screen. Okay, that's all I really was checking there. We've got a double plus going on for storage. Or they're being placed in the wrong place. We've already decided on what our model is here. Nope, I don't see it. There you go. I don't see it on the straight scan through, which means that it is something simple that I have forgotten. I don't see how that can be using those stats. Creates an entity, inserts the model at storage. It's this insert, it's not an overwrite, because I'm removing them. Would I be able to get away with append? And take storage out of the equation. Okay, it's saying no. It's saying it's skipping them. I saw it that time. But I don't understand why it's doing it. Let's just check on that now. No, that's acting properly. Damn you. Damn you, why is it acting correctly? And yet it isn't showing the values. Maybe I have to approach this slightly differently to work it out. We've got an extra storage counter and we've got an extra count coming out. They should not affect anything. In here, storage and counter gets set. Okay. We get an L, correct. We don't get the L. So that position is overwriting the L. The second time through, it's getting overwritten. How the hell has it managed that? Right, let's see if storage, text storage, I plussed one to it or not. Now I've got E in the V space. What the hell is going on with this? I'll get it back into the right place. There is something dodgy going on here. I've encountered this before in many a language, but how do you solve it? Alright, what I'm looking at is impossible by computer terms, so it's a language specific thing. Possibly. Never mind, it's tough. We'll have to continue. Right, so that's it. We're done. We have successfully, if not fully, understood what we've done. We are going to have to test the next one. Alright, text. Storage start. That's where your plus is. That's for this one though. Okay. Plus equals GUI. Text to 3D. Current ID, which is current ID minus 4. And text storage equals text storage start. I have no faith in this being able to work. Index out of range. Oh, because we didn't put letters, have to be written equals false. Oh, God. We'll set it to true at the exit. Because I could deal with one. But now we're dealing with two. Actually, we can put it in the correct place now, can't we? Which is here. Magic. Looking good. That's exactly what I was hoping for. We have full letters, which is weird. Alright, that's 4 letters, and that one's 5, I see. Okay. So we're going to need ourselves an extra variable. So that's going to be comma, x, no, position x, colon, float, we'll need. And that will be position x. That's correct. Good. Okay. We'll just need a float. We'll pop you in at God knows what. 2s, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Minus 0.436. I don't know why it does this. Why doesn't it just do that for you? Oh, went the wrong way. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oops. Well, I've got the O and the D. Wish I knew what's going on, but I don't. We're literally one letter off. .02. I'll make it. Yeah, I'll do it 0.2. Why not? Oops, other way. Doing everything backwards today. That's great. But we've done it. We have cracked the nutshell of what will be our final thing. I think that's about as much as I want to do of it without resolving issues, but that's how it's done. And you would place your messages last here. So this would be your message board. Would go here. That would be GUI text 3D. That goes in there. Finished. Done. Not quite the expected result, which I find absolutely amazing. Yes, the auto scales. But, it auto scales, it auto shades, it does everything automatic. But that is concerning. And it means I need to have another look at it tonight, but hey ho, there's no point in wasting your time on it. So we have finished. We have set ourselves the goal of making a GUI for a game. And we have done it. It's not functional, but it's done. I need to review that code though. So what we're going to be doing next, we did this in what, 8 days? My God, starting on a brand new machine from scratch with no idea what the hell I'm doing. We now have a 3D GUI system. I was going to put in picking, but we don't pick. This is just displays, and the message is just a display. There is no picking. That will come in future episodes. So I don't need to do picking on this either. So it looks as though we are heading off to Windows. We spent 8 days on a Mac and we got exactly what we wanted. We have the final, well, close enough to the final code that I'm happy with it. I am going to modify this until I get it right. I'm not going to waste your time with that. But if I do come up with anything that says, hey, yay, I got it spectacularly wrong, it's very easy for me to just chuck it up on screen and say, look, this is what I did wrong. I'm quite happy to do that. But if there are any more questions on Metal Rogue, please let me know. Metal is a good language. Well, it's in its infancy, I still think. Swift, still in its infancy, I think. It was pretty hard to break out of Swift. So they've done a good job on the language. And really, inheritance and all that kind of good stuff is available in Swift, and you should use it. I don't depend on it, so I just didn't want to use it, that was all. I wanted to see if it could do it without. And it can, as you can see, up to a point. I think the final version of this will be probably using Swift rather than me doing my crazy language. Got a feeling about that, but what you have to remember is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's theirs. So 11 files I've added to get it that far. The Swift sandbox here, actually we can do it from inside, can't we? Which I'm using to learn Swift. Alright, fair enough. I don't care whether you got issues or not with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we haven't even got to displaying the UI yet. I've done no GUI stuff on here. This is still back on day pre-light 4, 5, maybe even 6. But as you can see, I've got multiple items on. I'm just ready now to start splitting everything up into pieces and putting the lettering on. So I'm getting very close to that, but I want to use instances, which is why it was this thing's complaining up here, is because I am doing instance node. Okay, there you go, that's that done. I'm doing currently instances of models. So a model can be used a number of times on my screen without me going through all of that adder, you know, having a queue type of idea, which is what I should have done. Creating a queue of objects and then presenting them to the metal system. But I think we learned a hell of a lot along the way with these 8 days, especially about the ECS, because we were able, because of Swift making me program properly, we were able to do our ECS properly. That to me is more value than anything else that came out of this, is that we now have a true ECS system in common. But as you can see, it's still a bit messy. So we now have like our element for our string and the position. We haven't really been using these variables, but that's because we haven't needed to. They will be used in the final, obviously. Model position, game entities. That is the structure I want to use. So game entities and then components. So you have game entities and components. Yeah, it's with each one, isn't it? I'll put it with each one. So you have your game entities, which is that one. There. And then you have all your other bits. So there really isn't that much to it. You've got your loaded stuff. You've got what you want to be rendered. I'm just wondering if it's the order of these that matters. Not really. The globals. People say don't use globals. Those people are naive. It's like, oh, they're dangerous, only to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So that's our ECS. We didn't need U2 there. Or we duplicated U2 there, so go away. That's that cleaned up. That's our ECS. These bits at the top were just forcing things, really. It was just for forcing it through the last stages without having to write queues and stuff. That isn't really required, but it's been left in for backwards compatibility with other experiments. Model constancy is perfect. The lighting is phenomenal and it's wrong, but you can't tell. And we didn't get to key codes or input from the keyboard. Fair enough. But this is where I want to start from in our next stage of programming. I think I'm going to use C++ as well for you, Seppi, just to show you the differences in the way, how can you put it? In the way I approach things, maybe. And you don't need to worry about that, that's my shopping. Yes, I've asked somebody to go shopping for me, and they've said yes. They'll deliver it tomorrow after 3 o'clock. Back in our archives, the way forwards. Oh God, the way forwards. We've got to go to Windows, Jesus. Alright, okay, it's Windows it'll be. We are on Sandrogue. We will be on Development Series 3, 0.3. None of the code that we have done so far in the previous 2 series will be covered. Think about that. Because what we are going to go on to do is something or other. Let's have a look. We have a damn good list going. Yeah, everybody thinks I've forgotten about this, and I haven't. We've just done the GUI, which is that line there. We've got everything up to that line. The line of sight coding. Oh, this piece of piss, and why bother with it? Backpack and equipment. Then we're on to missing features, traps, spell mechanics, and ranged attacks. Well, that comes in last anyway. So it's backpack and equipment is what we're doing next, and we will be doing that as our last part. And then it's up to everybody to decide which operating system I write the finals on, or version 1, because we'll have all the code after that one. But that is an integral part of the game and has to be done. So that is the next thing that we are doing. Backpack and equipment. for an RPG. Interesting. That could be very interesting. So if I just pop you down to here, and yeah. So going over to Windows, that was it. Do we want an end, a break day? No, not really. I don't want to break from this. I'm enjoying it too much. We're done. It took us 1 week, 1 day to do a UI system. So I'll have to do a new splashboard. Let me just put down that we are completed on it. So we have now completed GUI code. Whether it works fully or not is immaterial. We have the code. GUI code complete. Just make a note of that. That'll remind me to get onto Windows. So it's Windows next. As a heads up, I will be using Visual Studio Community. I think Seppi was telling me that it's safe for me to do so. I am going to check that tonight with the copyright on it. But there's also another problem that entails, and that means I may have to go into the Windows, whatever it is thingy for the what is it, Microsoft Store. I've got to look at that, the Microsoft Store for release, obviously, because that'll be the release exit for Windows. Although, do you want the code putting up on GitHub again, which I couldn't do with the Metal Rogue because it's not the Apple way, shall we say? But with Microsoft using the Community Edition, I am allowed to use GitHub again. So again, that's up to you. If you want the code freely available to the entire world, I am absolutely quite prepared to do that. I have no qualms in it at all. It was just that I did have a slight problem with the copyright on the Macintosh for using GitHub, because it is going to be well, fully proprietary, done in Swift at the end of the day. We'll think about that. I'm going to enjoy it. I really do. I'm enjoying Swift. The Macintosh is going back in the bedroom for my evening's entertainment, and I will be programming away there, I think, for that. I've got plenty to do, so it'll be interesting. As for everything else, what time are we on now? Well, we've got an hour if anybody wants me to do anything for an hour. I think if you ever decide to get an Apple Mac, or you ever want a serious machine that can do some serious productivity, Apple Mac's the way to go, I'm sorry to say. Unfortunately, Apple themselves have already realised that the PC market is dying. I recognise that it's dying, and I'm writing a game for it. Isn't that correct? It's just not the thing to do, I suppose, but the PC market is dying. The future is these little black boxes, which is what I've got here as an Apple Mac. It's a tiny box, about a foot square, if that, by 2 inches to 3 inches deep. It's miniature. It really is miniature, and that's what I've been writing all my code on. Yeah. It'd only come in at about £750 here in the UK, so grab yourself one. Cheap at the deal. It's got an i3 in it. We will be using an i7 to program the next part, so that's going to be faster, I hope, with Microsoft. Otherwise, I'm just going to be struggling with IntelliSense for the next few weeks. I just love Seppi's comments about libraries, and that's quite funny. And that's the other thing. If I'm using Visual Studio and they don't tie me down to what language I've got to use for the Microsoft Store, I could use Qt, couldn't I? It's got all the maths libraries and the OpenGL in it. Would I be safe in doing so if I'm not using the Creator Pack? I do have a self-compiled Qt library specific to this Windows system. I'll have to think. It's a thought. It's a thought. Everything's optional. Everything's open to change. All right, that's you done. I've got a new follower, Ace. And of course, everything's going up onto. Oh yeah, right. Let's do. We haven't done that for a while, have we? Everything's going up onto YouTube. So it's two YouTube sites. If we are going onto Windows, it does mean I'm allowed back on Amber Skies. That's interesting. Who to use? No, the final development will be on Amber Skies stuff out, but because they'll be publishing it. Oh, YouTube. Here we go. Let's see if I exist yet. Fraser Sharp. Do I yet exist? You skunks. How far down these listings do I have to go to find myself? I think that's disgraceful. We're on Metal, aren't we? So Metal Rogue, which is what we're doing. You can use Sand Rogue or Metal Rogue. And look at that. All of a sudden I exist. But I don't know who that is. Well, there you go. So, Fraser Sharp, I do exist. There we go. Got 6 subscribers now. For a minute, that's going up again. Wow. Don't get any views on that, that's probably why. Oh, we got a view. Hey! So, this exists. Amber Skies exists for when we do the finals. It's just Amber Skies, all one word. As in sunset. And yeah, 424 videos there. All about different things. So there's tons of stuff in here. Make sure it says created here, not uploaded or whatever, because then you get all of them. So there's tons of stuff on there if you want it. C++ Qt, the lot. It's all there for you on Amber Skies. This, I'm not sure if it has a GitHub or not, but I don't think a lot of this is on GitHub because it's all research material. You'll work it out as if you watch any of these series. You'll work out that it is research material, and that this is me looking at different ways of doing the final project, which is what it was all for. There we go. So that's that. There's those two. Getting in touch with me, fraser.sharp@virginmedia.com, and that's about it, I think. It should be below your screen. Oh yeah, you can get to YouTube from there, can't you? Don't know if it does go to YouTube though. I'll check it. Anywho's, thank you very much for our visitors today. It's been brilliant having a chat, and I'm just going to wrap this up and start setting up Streamlabs for Windows. Dun, dun, dun. Enjoy, peeps. And try and have fun. That's all I can really say. Just try and have fun. Take care, all.